Now that the new season has started for the Gilded Age, which is off to a great start, by the way, I wanted to talk about one of the plot lines. It's a bit niche, but I think it's really interesting. And by the way, if you're not watching, but you love theater, all the actors come from Broadway, or you're really interested in New York City history or American history, this is a good show for you. While we know that some of the characters of the show are based on real people at the time, Mrs. Astor is a prime example. She ruled the roost in the social scene at the time. A lot of other characters are inspired by others, and there's one in particular. I'm talking about Gladys Russell, because the Russell family is loosely based on the Vanderbilts and Consuelo Vanderbilt in particular. In the show, Gladys is in love with a gentleman that she wants to marry, but as she's the daughter of the Russell family, who's very rich and powerful at the time and seeking more and more status, Mrs. Russell wants to marry her off to a duke as an exchange for a title and even moving up further in status in the society. If this seems far-fetched to you, it was not. It was a big thing of the time, and I highly recommend this book, To Marry an English Lord, talking about the exchanges at the time where a lot of daughters of very wealthy New Yorkers of the Gilded Age were being married off to British aristocracy for titles, because at the time, a lot of the aristocracy were dead broke. So even exchange, they thought, I feel sorry for a lot of these women. If you watch Downton Abbey, another Julian Fellowes show, who also does Gilded Age, then you know that Cora Crowley, or her character, is very much of this. She was married off to bring her American money to Downton Abbey, to that family, and save them, as it were. If you watch The Buccaneers on Apple, a little less accurate, but still entertaining, it also discusses this, where again, all these women coming from the US, families with money being married off to British aristocracy for titles. As a side note, if you're interested in this time period and the social structures, then I definitely recommend watching The Age of Innocence or reading any of Edith Wharton's books, like The Age of Innocence, House of Mirth, etc. Very much New York society at that time, but I digress. Of course, Consuelo was secretly matched by her mother, Alva, to the 9th Duke of Marlborough, I believe, in England, and it was a disastrous marriage, but it was all for the title. They had this lavish marriage in 1895. It was all over the gossip columns and all the society papers, just like her mom had planned, but it ended in disaster in, 1906. It took them a while to get divorced, 1921, and then they had a full annulment in 1926. She did have 2 sons from that first marriage and produced another heir, the next duke in line, but she had another marriage to a rich French aviator and was much happier in that one. Anyways, this marriage is often cited as an example of the dollars for dukes phenomenon of the time. So as you're watching the season and you're watching Gladys Russell / Vanderbilt, just understand that this is very much the inspiration, and we'll see what she goes through. Enjoy.